I had a story in my heart, but I didn't know where to start. Every sentence felt wrong, every draft fell apart. Sat staring at the page like it owed me something, but the words...
Hello everyone, my name is Manon Doucet. I'm a published author. I'm also having my own publishing house. I have more than a few, over 7 authors working with me. I have multiple pen names on top of that. I work in many genres. I love challenge, so when there is a challenge, I love to learn and get very good at it. So this has always been the way I seen life since I know myself. All right, this is for beginner to intermediate. I will try to go slow and show you by example what I'm going to show you today. I did put some question in the chat at the start of this session, and here's the question again. So who is new to Sudowrite that are with us today? And for the one who are new, I will try to go slow, pay attention to what I'm doing on the screen. If you get overwhelmed, don't worry, it's recorded. And even the advanced user do love to listen to my video after 3 to 5 times, because they say each time they listen to it, they figure out that they missed something or they learned something new. So it's not your fault or nobody else's fault. Is I have a lot of information and I like to give you as much as possible each time I teach. Next, do you have a work in progress? Because this is about work in progress. So if you have a work in progress that you are new or advanced, doesn't matter. You are at the right place. I also like to know in which genre you're writing and where do you save your work. From there, I will be able to help you on how to bring your work in and make sense of where you are blocked to. Oh, you are in a super good place because I have some example of thriller, psychological thriller today to show you. I came in with 3 beautiful example to work with. We definitely will have time to go through 1 or 2 of them. We have someone which is new. 2 weeks ago, I'm writing in a fantasy and adventure fiction. Perfect. Psychological thriller, TXT doc file. Perfect. What else do we have? Thriller young adult. In Word, I work in mystical fiction work. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Let's jump right in. So first screen we have on the screen, and I need to get my mouse back in. So we all know how to get here and record or join other classes. So we can close this one. This is also, Jeff, can you please share the Word document that I put together? So this is the Word document I put together for you today. We have PDF file that you can download and look at it. These are all kind of questions you can ask yourself when you have a work in progress. These information are useful for future reference when you work in Sudowrite or any of your project to work on your bestseller or novella. The second one here is also the information to help you on enhancing some of the scene when you have a work in progress. So before, these are all information you can read at your own time. So even if I go through all this and I read step by step, it's not really useful. I prefer to show you what we're going to do, and hopefully you can match with what you have and definitely bring your question in. All right. So these are basically the PDF file that you have, both of them. So feel free to download and play with those. Okay, copy of notes. So those are my notes. This is a PDF, so I'm not going to repeat that. The demo advancement and all that, it's here, so we can read all about how to get things better from one place to the next. What I want to show you here, what I did prepare for this session is we have 3 different persona or 3 different genre. We have a psychological thriller, and because we are here to work for a work in progress, I'm going to show you I needed something to start with. So I did go and produce 3 different story, 3 different genre. So the first one, we have this one, which is a thriller. That's funny because he gave us a few names, but it's a psychological thriller. The project is The Silent Witness, should be about 85,000 words, first draft completed. So we have the scene, which our protagonist is a detective and all that information. We have Detective Morale sat across Jimmy. So we have a very small, flat start version of it. We have what's wrong. Hold on here. So it's just little synopsis that I did put together to get something bigger. So this is basically how I work. It's basically, it says, okay, we're going to have a psychological trailer. We have a title, what we are stuck on. Okay, so there are scenes in this story where the protagonist is a detective and interrogating a suspect who may have witnessed a murder but claim to remember nothing. The scene needs to be built for tension, reveal the key clue, and all that. So when we have a story and we have things like that, we're going to learn how to get these scenes to the point that we want them to be to have a very good book or a bestseller. So it's basically, these are notes on how to get it better through Sudowrite. It's giving me what's wrong in that. Okay, so this is flat. You know what I mean by flat? It's like it's kind of boring. So it's more or less it's sat across Jimmy. So the scene is there. It will be written that way. All right. So Detective Morales sat across from Jimmy Sutton in an interrogative room. Jamie looked nervous. She kept glancing at the door. Tell me what you saw that night, Morales said. I already told you. I didn't see anything, Jamie replied. Morales put a photo on the table. This was taken at 11:47 p.m. You were there. Jamie stared at the photo. She didn't say anything. You need to tell me the truth, Morales said. So here, in my opinion, what's wrong with this? The dialogue is on the nose, no subject or subtext. There's no psychological tension. So it's just a simple room where the police is doing the interrogation. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no tension. She said, tell us that Jimmy is nervous instead of showing it. Missing the cat and the mouse dynamic trailer needs. It's not there, it's missing. Read like a transcript, not a scene. So what do we need? Add physical pressure and power dynamic. Create a subtext in a dialogue. Show Jimmy's nervousness through the physical tales. Build a moment of revelation or breaking point. So this is the first story that we're going to work with. All right, so I'm not going to go in the second one, but I will share it with you and you can see all 3 stories. Follow the persona. All right, so we have the first one is our thriller. The second one, if someone is working with literature fiction, can base on this one. And the third one is fantasy. Those are the 3 genres that I work with today. So far, so good. All right. Okay. So our psychological thriller with Sarah Chen, complete 4,000 word synopsis. This is my notes or my start of my story. And I try to get about 4,000 words. So we have 3,619 words. This is Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So I have that. Now I don't know what to do with it. How do I bring that inside Sudowrite and make it a full novella and a very good story? So I did take everything, my starting point, and when I did write these acts in grosso modo, because it's not a finished novel, it's basically my brain dump with the information of what's going on, with the idea of what I want at the end, the number of words when I complete that first draft. Now, this is a work in progress. What do I do with this? Because it's already inside my Sudowrite, if you work inside Sudowrite, what you can do, see those three dots here? You can go and export in docs. All right. So we have 3,619 words that we can export in docs. And when you get in docs, it's going to get inside your download. Okay. During is going to do that, I'm going to show you a few other things. What we do after that, and I'm going to do it with the second story here, because this one is already done. So I'm going to show you exact step by step with the second story. So the second story is the one with Marcus William. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Export, and that one has 4,536 words, so it's bigger than the first one. Export, it's telling me that it's preparing it to export, and it's going to go in the download. And for me, it's going to open and show me exactly what I did, all right? What do we do with that? Now, this is where, when you have a work in progress, no matter what kind of work in progress you have, notes, synopsis, outline, you have chapter 1, chapter 6, chapter 10, it's all mixed up. As long as you put it in a Word document and you make it nice. So basically you says, okay, this is chapter 1, this is chapter 5, this is chapter 6, and you can write yourself notes inside your Word document that I'm missing chapter 2 because it doesn't sound right, but the idea of chapter 2 is blah, 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 and you put that inside your Word document. So far, so good. Now, once you have your Word document set, like we have here, it's set, I'm going to go out. And you know, inside here, when it says import novel, this is one way for you to go and work with that. So I'm going to do the create that import novel. I'm going to go in my download, and all I have to do is drag it in or just browse and bring it in. This will be created for you through Sudowrite. And as far as I know, it doesn't cost any credit. All right, so we're going to let it work. And during that time, I'm going to show you what happened with our story. So we have that. This is the, okay. So once I did that, I got this one here, the silence witness. So remember, we only have our Word document. After it's doing the importation, the first thing it's going to show you is what it import in. So all the same information is over here. The difference is in our story Bible. The story Bible is where the magic comes in when you're working on a manuscript. You have your brain dump. This is where you can add notes and things that you want to remember during you're working on your book or novella or bestseller. Now, when he did the importation, this is where Sudowrite got to work. He says, okay, I import your idea, the 3,619 words. This is a psychological thriller, mystery, crime. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have. So this is done by Sudowrite. The AI read and look at it and says, this is what we have. Perfect. So I says, yeah, this is what we have. It's good. The style is not going to be touched. If you know the style you're writing your story in, you can go ahead and bring it in. You can go custom and write your style. Or you can go and find a featured one. Says, okay, it can be an action pack, a approachable charming. You can choose the one you want. I'm not the kind of person or the kind of writer who go get my style right away. And I prefer to work inside the extra instruction instead of the style. That's the way I do it. If someone else have different way of doing it, you can please put it in the chat or let me know. But this is how I go about it. Or if you have one of your chapter written and it says, this is exactly what I want across my book, that style. You can go and match my style. You can bring up to 2,000 words from your chapter in here, click next and get Sudowrite to match your style, and it's going to do it in 40 words or less. All right, but this is one thing, it's not going to do it at the start at all. Now, it's going to give you a brand new synopsis for that story. And that story gave us a 527 word synopsis. It's a very short synopsis in my opinion. There's all kind of way to go when you work on a manuscript. If you want a better outline, a better synopsis, more details, if you read it and it says it's not enough, I want more, you can use the rewrite. Or a lot of us copy our synopsis and we go and put it inside our brain dump. And from the brain dump, we go and add more information. So if I was to want more and get more details, I would copy the synopsis that it gave me. I put it in my brain dump. And I'm going to keep on going because it did my synopsis and it gave me characters. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters that got brought in the importation of our 3,619 words. And you go ahead. This is because you bring your work in progress, you know your character. So it's something you're already working on. So you have your protagonist, you have all the information, go and check. Read every single piece that Sudowrite brought in, and you might be surprised because it's going to bring more than what it read to match that story. And also, if you already have a lot of information inside your character box, it's going to add them up. So my character box has a lot of traits. So I have the role in the story because in the start, I'm with Sudowrite for the 4th year now. So, oh, what's happened? Ah, okay. When this happened, don't get scared. That's because your importation is done, and Sudowrite make it start right away on you. So this is the one we import earlier, story number 2. So it's done importing it. So the distance between us, it's there. So 5,448 words. Let's go back to the one I was talking about earlier. Did I lose anyone there when the Sudowrite changed the screen on us? Everyone is okay? Good, perfect. All right, so you go and check every single one of your character and make sure that you are happy with what you get. At this point, it says, oh, there's one of them is missing. Go ahead, add the character which is missing. If one is too many, you can remove it. Or what I prefer to do, if one of them says, that's not supposed to be in my book, but it might be interesting to have it later, you can just click on the eyes here and says, right now, you're not supposed to be in my book, but I don't want to delete it. You can just click on the eyes and says, okay, I'm not going to use you for now, but it's not impossible I use you later. Okay, so this is how you can add or remove or put one of your character to sleep. It's pretty much the same thing with the world building. You also have the same thing here. So in the importation, it gave me a world building. So the story is in Los Angeles. We have Prometheus Institute, this organization, memory manipulation technology, because it's a very interesting story. If you go inside the document that I share with you, story number 1, you can go ahead and read it. It's very, very interesting. I'm going to write that novel. I really love it. And I'm going to use Sudowrite to help me to finish that novel the way I want. So we have that, memory reduction, the Proteus directive, and memory manipulation. Nothing again here stop you from putting an eye on something or add more element. Here's one of the tricks that I love to do when I bring a work like this inside Sudowrite. And in all my session, I always show the same thing. So I'm going to repeat myself if you have been in a class with me before. What I love to do is I take the synopsis, which is right here. I'm going to copy the synopsis and I'm going to ask here in the chat, so everyone has the free chat. May not look like this because this is the beta version of one of the chat we're working on, but it's very, very fun to have. So the chat, and I'm going to move this into chat so I get the free version. And I'm going to ask, based on the synopsis, what are all the world building needed to write a bestseller? So the synopsis, what are the world building items? Sometimes I have to think if I want to say item or something else. I need to write a bestseller. I'm passing through the synopsis, or I can do at synopsis or something like that too, but I just pass the synopsis in so I don't second guess if he got the right one or not. So he's going to read the synopsis and is going to see, we also have some word building, normally does see all that. So let me check what the word building already existing in your project, then identify what's missing for a thriller bestseller. So he knows already also for our genre, and he's going to look at what's missing. So we give it a chance to work on that. And if there's new one that I want, I will add them up to the world building. During his doing that, I'm going to show you the outline. The outline that he brought in, I am not happy with it because I already have an outline for this story. But here as an example, the outline that it creates as it import our little almost 4,000 synopsis words. It says only 9 chapter, no scene, no act, just 9 chapter. And I know from this, I don't even have to go and read them. I'm not happy with that. But I could do one thing. I can go and copy this outline, which has, how many words there is in there? Story Bible. So when I put that inside my Story Bible, we're still way below 4,000 words. So here I have the synopsis, I have the outline that it create for this story. So it's more information in my brain dump that I can use for later. Now that I have my outline saved somewhere, I can delete this one because it's not the one I'm going to use. Let's go back here into the chat and see what it gave us. So what you have as a strong foundation, it says we have Los Angeles, that. What's missing? The investigating apparatus. So LAPD homicide division, other precinct and handle high profile murder. Oop, just a second here. You went very fast from one to the next. Okay, so investigating apparatus, Dr. Holt world, Jamie Ground reality, the trigger mechanism practice, other victim survivors, and black site. Priority for the bestseller, focus on number 2 and number 3. Readers need to feel the texture of alt office where he died, and Jimmy's life before it shattered. The conspiracy worked because the normal world feels real. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to copy that world building that is telling me about. What I don't want to do, hold on, I'm going to copy a bit less than that. I'm going to copy from here all the way to synopsis, mention closure, remaining black site. Where are they? What do they do? Okay, so I'm going to copy all the way to 6 at the present day. Now, in the world building, you go in the 3 dots, and I'm going to import. When I do the import, in here, I'm going to pass these one that I just got from chat. I'm going to do import. And here we have our world building, which seems to be missing from the first one. And I'm going to click go. If you see anything you don't want, or you think it's something it's not necessary to build your story, you can simply click on this and it's going to go away. So right now we're going to click go. It's going to import. It's going to get all the information from what we have inside this. As I'm doing that, when we work inside Sudowrite, sometimes we put a lot of information inside our project box over here. Try to have one section or one folder just for your story, so it doesn't overwhelm the AI with all kind of information on this side here. So right now it's not so bad because I have my importation here, and this is the outline that I want to use for the story. Okay, so our world building now, we only had those. Now we have the LAPD homicide division, the forensic procedure, the FBI BAU, Bureau of Investigation Behavioral Analysis of Unit, Dr. Art Psychiatric Practice, the Patient File System, Santa Monica Psychiatric Facility, Jimmy Graphic Design and Business, auditory trigger, verbal keys, black site. So we have a very interesting world building that now it's more complete than we had earlier. Now we can also copy our world building. Now, if you have your word building, and hopefully it's not going to go over our 4,000 words in our brain dump, under our not so fun, I will put it between, not there, I will put it between where it's supposed to be. So we have our synopsis, and here we have our world building. We have more than 4,000 words, but that's okay. So where did it stop? It's a bit too much for the world building. Okay, I will leave it as that because there's a lot of information inside my brain dump. The point of showing you this, because there's a point to that, is now that I have a lot more information inside my brain dump, I'm going to ask for a new synopsis. So this synopsis here, it's copied just to make sure it's going to be, that should be fine. I should be able to go back and get it in the story. So I'm not going to double check. I'm going to select all my synopsis. And I'm going to ask to regenerate a new synopsis. And he is, as you can see, is going to get everything from what we have above. So let's generate a new synopsis and see if it's going to do a better job. Now we have this, which is attached to our chat. So now instead of having everything showing up, okay, showing up in both. But it's going to ask me a question in the chat if I'm happy with the new synopsis. So accept all the change or not. So what do we have here? So it seems like we have even a shorter synopsis that we had earlier. So here is telling me, where's that question? As soon as you touch it, it goes. I've generated the synopsis, update, story Bible, read. I don't like that. So if you don't like the new synopsis, go back to the clock. Mhm. I stay silent. So it seems like the original synopsis is gone. Refuse to stay silent. This is exactly the same one. So I don't want the upscale. I want the original. I did copy it, isn't it? So we have at the start in our brain dump. So that's one thing that I'm going to have let them know, that the synopsis stay silent. This is the right one. Stay silent. Refuse to stay silent. They finish the same way, but one is shorter than the other. Okay, so let's go back to the original because frankly, probably have more information in it by a few words. So the original, I would have to say yes. Okay, so sometimes we have to deal with a few things like that. Okay, so this is how normally I do and get a better synopsis or ask for more information. So you can do the rewrite synopsis and ask for more details. You can ask in your rewrite that you want the location inside the synopsis, the time, and the character well described. So this can be done. This is, Jeff, I should do the same thing. Then you get a program blank and get this the way I want it. Okay, so let's work with what we have here. So let's rewrite the synopsis. Please rewrite with more details like the time and place. What else can we ask in the synopsis? Idea? Please rewrite with more details like time, place. Okay. All right, so please rewrite with more details like the time, the place, and what the character is, and which, such as. Okay, let's copy this here. Set that a copy in case someone wants to have this. Let's see what it's going to give us for a rewrite. You can tell it's rewriting as it does that funny circle around the synopsis. Time flies, already 35. Any questions so far? You're welcome, Gary. Okay. So our synopsis now, the upscale, Elena Detective, Elena, Scope, Arrow, Final Countdown, the Aftermath. They always have the same hand up, stay silent. And we have same amount of words, so okay. So as soon as you click on it, it does accept, because when you say it was purple, that's what the new synopsis it gave us. It doesn't change much in terms of number of words or anything like that. All right. Okay, next, outline. We don't have an outline anymore. You can bring your own outline. You can recreate a brand new outline. You can ask here in chat to have a better outline. Here one thing, because we only had 9 chapters before, so you can come over here and ask chat, because this one is free over here, and chat can read everything you have and give you very good answers. So for what is the best outline for this story? If you have Claude or ChatGPT or a different one, you can work also on the outside with and ask the same question by bringing inside the first 3,619 words. So this one here is the outline that I work with, but I want to see what is going to give me here for a better outline or not. Looking at the whole information. Because if you can see here in your outline, you can go and ask for another outline to be done. You can choose on outline that's already over here. So you can go with the novel, the hero's journey, the Hollywood beats, the story circle, romance, or the custom. I was a big fervent of the custom outline. A few things have changed lately, so let's see what it's going to give us. All right, so let's examine this project. Look like the project you have is well developed as a typical thriller with strong bone. The existing outline, the better outline. So you went to see the outline that I brought in has a solid structure, but I see some opportunity for improvement. Okay, so he sees something that can go better. So let's work well. A 3-act structure, definitely, with clear genre beats. Strong character arc for both Elena, detective healing from trauma, and Jimmy, victim discovering her own darkness. Oh, then it moved on me. The midpoint revelation, Jamie remembered that she killed Holt, hit exactly the right spot. The twist that Elena herself may have been compromised is genuinely surprising. Where the current outline could be stronger, Act 2 is bloated. 12 chapter, 42,000 words versus Act 3, 10 chapter, 21K. That's a 2-to-1 ratio when a thriller structure typically works better closer to even or with Act 3 slightly longer. 30 chapter is heavy for 85,000 word. Psychological thriller. Most successful thriller in this space run 20 to 25 chapter, more chapter breaks, more chance for the reader to put the book down. The ending spread thin. Chapter 27 to 30 are essentially denouement material. 4 chapters of resolution after the climax risk deflating tension. Elena elevate comes very so. See, when you have your working project and you ask question inside this, you'll get a lot of information. So we can keep reading and reading and reading. So let's see here. Tighten the 24 chapter compressed investigation in Act 2, combine the 2 single scenes. So here my chapter that I'm going to show you what is talking about. So chapter 1 has 3 scenes. Chapter 2, 2 scenes, 3, 1 scene, 4, 3 scenes, 5, 2, 3, 2, like this. And it's telling me that the Act 4. So let's go see the Act 4. Did I pass Act 4 yet? Scene breakdown. Act 3. He's making more. They only have 3 acts, so he wants this to be into 4 act. Okay. Or structure as a Act 4 act. treat Elena revelation, or keep 30 chapter structure but rebalance. So from here we can choose what we want. So I'm going to choose option A. So what is going to do with that? So can you rewrite the full outline with this option? And you pass the option. That's a lot of word. But there's not 200 words here. Option 1. Copy. Better. All right. Sometimes you have to double check because you might copy something else. Then we send it to work. And it should give us a different outline. I'm a chat mode. I can discuss analyzing chapter 24, act 1, chapter 1 to 6, tree discovery, act 2, 7 to 14, and the act 3, 15 to 24. All right, so we have a new outline. Let's see we are happy with this. Now we're going to take this outline and create a brand new outline inside Sudowrite to get this story going. So act 1, so we have we're going to highlight and copy. Okay, I'm going to just copy and we're going to create that outline. So we're going to go in our outline, which is empty. Now, there's different way to go about it. My normal way is simply to go inside the outline under custom and pass it through. Now we have a few things that we have to delete. I'm going to delete that because I only want the basic outline. With the new custom outline, having a outline naked like this works. Hopefully it's not going to make me a liar, but normally this is how it works better. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to say, you can actually change this the way you want. If you're not sure of what is the best POV, let's ask, what is the best POV and hence for this bestseller? Before we create the outline, let's see what it's going to give us. Give as much possible. So current POV for your draft, third person, limited, past tense, alternative between Elena and Jimmy. So it's giving us the two we can use as a dual POV. Close third person, past tense, deep, white space. All right. So we have this most comment. That's the one he gave us. And then in the auto, I'm going to say between Elena and Jimmy. So this is our two. And the tense is in the past tense. All right, now we're ready to generate this outline. So far, so good. Okay, optional. So now we have this here. I just wanted to create my outline. Anyone have fun creating outline inside Sudowrite and like to add something to their outline and they know they love to have that, especially inside the outline? This is where we would put it. Anyone?
No questions so far.
Anyone likes anything special inside their outline that helped them to write a better story with it? Nothing? Right, so just let's see. Let's go and get it to write our outline. So this is one way to go and generate a outline. And the other one, I have to wait for this to finish. The other one will be the 3 dots. And when you do the 3 dots, you import the outline. So I have a comprehensive context from synopsis, character, and word building, creating a complete outline now. And we know it takes a while because it has a lot of information to go through. So what the AI does at this point and why it's so long is going to read the world building, all of it, all the character, the synopsis, the genre. I don't think you read too much, but it's possible that you also look at the brain dump. But right now he's looking at the story Bible, the character, and the world building. Our brain dump is inside the story Bible. Does it mean he's look at it or not? Not sure. But he's reading these at this point and thinking, and is going to create our outline. And that's where I wish I could get more than one page open on that. Let's see if we can, if we leave, is it going to keep on working? Let's see. So right now he's working on this. Hopefully it's not going to stop. So this one, that's the second story that we work on. So I'm trying to see if it's going to keep on working. During that time, I will go back in here. This is the second one that we import, the second story. And this one has a different genre. So literary fiction, family drama, with totally different people, character, synopsis, 590. One thing that Sudowrite needs to work on is getting bigger synopsis, but it's getting much better because before we only had, what, 800 words? Now we have 4,000 words. We have our character, Daniel, Thomas, Helen, Sarah, Irena. So not too many. That one has a lot less character. World building, Illinois, the family home, the Harper family history, Harper illness and death. LLP, it's an organization. HNW, Evanston Township High School, the father's tools, the mother's letter, the Harper family region believe. What's the outline on this one? Only 7 chapter, another one which is very, very short. One thing that I want to mention here, that when you work inside a program like this and you have all your information here, if you bring a outline inside of this, you're normally going to bring it inside Sudowrite too. But this one here has no outline, only Act 1, 2, and 3 for the story that I was working on for each of these genre that we work on today. Let's go see here. It's still thinking. Move it up. Okay, perfect. Just in time. All right, so Act 1, Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Act 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Act 3, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, Act 4, all the way to 24. Is that much what we ask? Basically, it does much what we ask. So this is how you're going to bring a naked outline that we had and bring it inside the custom version where it's going to create a full outline. This is a beautiful outline. Very happy with that. We don't have time to read all of it, but from here you can read, you can change, you can fix, you can create your first chapter 1. and it's giving us how much credit it costs. So far, the chat somehow costs, some of it costs because I was on the writing mode, and then the chat mode costs nothing. So one thing that I have to be careful when I work on it is which chat I'm using. The importing and detecting costs nothing. The other chat costs nothing. The classification of the genre, the importation of the novel, 0. So far we only use 11,802 credit to create what we have here. So it's pretty good. And you can, your manuscript is in one place where you can see everything by clicking at a glance. And that's making your work a lot easier when you have a manuscript that you're working on and you're stuck. So now we also have the other one that I create earlier, which has a lot more to this outline. So I'm going to show you how we work with this outline as the second version if you have this already. So I would copy this one. Because that one has 30 with one scene, so copy. So what do we do with this one? Let's see. I don't want to break. So when you have many idea and you don't want to break what you have or having too much information, like I said, when you have too much, it may actually disturb the AI when you actually work. So I'm going to do here, I'm going to duplicate this because we have an interesting 24 chapter outline. I'm going to use the copy, and from here I can go and delete this outline because I already have the whole thing duplicated. And I'm going to go inside the import. So instead of going inside the custom like I did earlier, I will go into the import, and I'm going to pass the outline I already have created for this story, and I'm going to create picking by import. So these are many different ways for you to recreate or ameliorate your script, your novella, your outline that you're working on, and get your story even better. It's also when you read it and you can see what the AI brought in, make you question a few things, a lot of things you can do in the chat and ask, is there something missing in my manuscript? And because you brought everything inside Sudowrite and you can read everything, he's going to let you know, yeah, you could probably add a twist, or this character is a bit invisible. You need more information or more arc to it. So you can ask that way. So let's see what it's going to do with this new outline. There we go. So now we have the outline that we created. And as you can see, when I create that one, I create scene by scene. So I already have my scene. And from this, I can write my story the way I want or different way. So we have our 30 chapter, exactly the way I got it written in the first place. From this, now I can go, if it's not already written, and I'm says, okay, I got everything, now I need to write it. I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it. I already have my scene. I'm going to click on the plus sign here, start the chapter. The chapter is linked to chapter 1. Make sure you have something linked to start with, so it's linked. And we know we have 3 scenes. If you have other document that you can link to it, you can go ahead. If you want to link it to one of those and says, okay, from there, I want you to get more information from this to write the story, you can do that. You can also add scene. So we can click on add scene. We already have 3 scenes. We can basically says, okay, generate, and it's going to get more information into these scenes. So let's generate those scenes. Is one way of going about it. Entering is doing that. During the next 7 days, I teach many classes. So one thing I'm going to show you in the future one is the nonfiction. We're going to do probably a recipes book inside Sudowrite. So the nonfiction session is 2 days session. And I'm showing you how to do your research and everything else and how to bring a outline inside Sudowrite to write recipes kind of thing. So don't miss that. It's a different genre that most people don't know they can write inside Sudowrite instruction on how to do exercise, how to create recipes book and things like that. That's going to be one thing we're going to work on. Okay, so as you see here, we have 3 scenes, and it did create those 3 scenes here with more information. I'm pretty happy with what it's telling me here. Basically, took that little one sentence and created a nice scenes that we can start working our story. The second way to go about it, we duplicate this chapter 1. And if I had enough time, I would go and delete all those things here because I don't need them. I'm going to delete everything inside of this. And those scenes that I already have, I'm going to bring them in. So I'm going to first link it because I did copy the chapter 1. I'm going to relink it to the chapter 1 with my 3 scenes. I don't need to connect it to anything else for now. And from here, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. So I can go edit scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. So I already brought my scene in. So if in your project, you already have scene done, this is how you can do it. You just bring your scene in. You can bring your extra instruction. You can change your POV and start writing. So we have 3rd person POV. Daniel, this is the second story. So this is not the one we're working on. I'm going out of my, oh, yeah, I got. Which one I have? Hélène therapy session. Am I working with the right one? Okay. Yes, we are. Are we? I think so. Did I miss something or did I do something wrong? Jeffrey, did I go one story to the next and copy the wrong outline? Hopefully not. So Hélène and Dr. Marcus. Hélène. Let's go with Hélène. Hélène here. Crime scene, Dr. Marcus, hold office. Discovery the second neighbor. So here I can see that I would need probably another person. That's his office, so that's not a person. Second cup, neighbors. All right, let's see. Choose tense, past tense. Now you can choose your mode. You can go with muse. You can go with excellent. Let's go with excellent right now. It's one of my favorite to work with. And it has very little information to work with on this. So I'm going to let it see what it's going to do. No extra instruction at this point for this one. Let's go see the other one. Distance between us. That's the same story. The silence witness. All right, so I showed you what I wanted to show on this one into the other one. Oh, okay. All right. So our second story, sorry about that, is what when I get taken by a story, sometimes that's what happened. And we're already at top of the hours. So before I go anywhere else, I'm going to say thank you because we're on top of the hours. And for the one who stayed with me all the way to this point here, I will create the first chapter in a 2 different way. And also, if you have any question, would be a good time. You're going to receive an email at the top of the hour, which you probably have in your email right now, asking you how we did. I love to see your feedback and tell me what you like to see in future classes, and that hopefully you love this session too. So for the one who wants to stay, you can stay. If you have question and you want to ask, it's a good time to do so. Bidring is doing this expand the scenes right now. Any question? Did I answer any of your question for you to be able to work on your work in progress that you want to bring inside Sudowrite? Right. So on this, I will stop the recording. So my name is Manon Doucet, and I'm happy to have shown you how to do a small amount of workflow on how to bring a work in progress. Where's that recording button? And thank you to Jeff for being my co-host today.
Twinkle, little moonbeam bright, dancing softly through the night, over rooftops, over trees, sailing on the gentle breeze. Little owl says, hoo, hoo, hoo. Moonbeam, may I dance with you? Round they spin above the ground, while the stars sing all around. Twinkle, little moonbeam, twinkle, little moonbeam, guard us till the dawn. Twinkle, little moonbeam, twinkle, little moonbeam, safe till morning comes. Sleepy bunny shuts his eyes, dreaming under silver skies. Clouds roll by so soft and slow, rocking babies far below. Twinkle, little moonbeam, stay, guard us until break of day. When the morning sun appears, whisper softly in our ears. Close your eyes and rest tonight. You are safe till morning light. Sweet dreams, dear ones, sleepy night. Hold us in your silver